Hey guys, welcome back and buckle up, because this one goes off the rails fast. Our old friend Chili Fidel de Castro, better known online as Delete Laws, has finally slammed headfirst into the consequences he's been dodging for years. Before we dive in, a huge shout out to Arnatada Judges for capturing this absolute courtroom masterpiece. Without his channel, we wouldn't have front row seats to one of the most satisfying legal implosions you'll see all week. We got two chaotic clips lined up, all unfolding in Amsterdam. So, settle in because this is where fantasy law meets real-world consequences. Let's jump right in.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. All right, Mr. DeCastro, this is an obstructing or false info charge. It is case 24-006842. Obviously, I'm going to ask you, you understand your proceedings are being filmed?
Of course.
Okay.
They're here because I'm here.
Right, okay, and just so that the record's clear, you have no objection to that?
Of course not.
Okay.
I would like the transparency. I appreciate
no, that's
it.
fine. I need to ask that. City, there's no other issues for you with respect to this being filmed? Okay. All right, Mr. DeCastro, did you get a copy of the complaint?
I did. Only question I have is who's the prosecutor? What's the prosecutor's name?
Well, let me ask a couple questions, and then we'll get into what your questions are. Did you review and understand this?
I don't understand it. I don't understand how I can be charged with obstruction for filming a cop.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
So I'm asking a much more basic question. You do not have to agree with this. This is
Do I
simply
understand I'm in
how-
charge with the misdemeanor?
Yes.
I do understand I'm in charge
Okay,
with the
that's
misdemeanor.
literally it.
I have trial tomorrow for the exact same thing 1 year ago.
In this jurisdiction?
Yeah. I don't think anyone is surprised that this isn't the first time Chili Fidel de Castro has found himself staring down criminal charges. At this point, it's less an anomaly and more a recurring side project. But according to him, he's the most innocent man walking the planet. Never broken a law, never made a mistake, and every piece of evidence stacked against him is just part of some massive conspiracy he claims to have exposed on his own channel. The level of mental gymnastics required to maintain that narrative is genuinely Olympic caliber. 3.
Well, I don't want to get into any of that.
Sure.
Today, we're just here for purposes of this. It's a very procedural type of thing today for the arraignment. So you do understand what you got charged with. You do not have to agree with this. This is just an allegation. So you don't need me to read it to you.
I don't.
Okay, very good. And are you planning on hiring an attorney to represent yourself?
I will have a standby attorney for this case.
You will have a standby
Yes.
attorney. Okay.
Because I think that I'm going to win this easy. It's on film, and I wasn't obstructing anybody.
Okay. All right, Mr.
Is
Castro.
this the prosecutor, Matthew B.
Okay,
Walker?
let me do my part first, and then we can get into what it is. So, because I need to know, are you proceeding on your own? Do you want to have an attorney? Because I will give you time to talk to an attorney on your own if that's the route that you would like to go.
I will have a standby attorney for this case.
So typically, I would set this for a pre-trial to give you an opportunity to obtain discovery and for your attorney to find out whatever all is associated with this.
Sure.
So I can set that over for a pre-trial date to give you the opportunity to do that. Would you like to do that?
That'd be great.
Okay, and then what is it that you need to tell me without talking about the facts of the
I just need
case?
to know if this is the prosecutor's name. Is that the person prosecuting, Matthew B. Walker?
That is a good question. I will tell you that the city attorney is Jeffrey Dorokat, and that's the person's name on the upper left-hand corner of the complaint. Matthew Walker is a deputy city attorney who actually prosecutes this case. Depends on the office.
I'm going to sue him for malicious prosecution.
Okay.
I'm going to sue everybody involved. I'm going to sue.
And speaking from first-hand experience, as someone who's been dragged through Castro's lawsuit circus more times than I care to count, let me be very clear. There's nothing impressive or intimidating here. He has never won a single case against any of the so-called tyrannical officers or departments he constantly rants about. Not one. His real legacy isn't exposing corruption. It's confusing and disrupting the lives of people who are already struggling to navigate the legal system. That's exactly why I push back against figures like Chili Fidel Castro. Because following this kind of advice is how vulnerable people end up sitting in jail cells they never needed to see. So don't worry, Chili. By the end of this video, you'll have earned yourself plenty of law library time. Maybe enough to realize why this approach keeps failing.
You have an opinion. Today's just the arraignment.
I got you.
Saying all these things, we're here for your
getting,
misdemeanor case.
Sure,
okay?
but there's a bigger issue. There's transparency in the courtroom, which is the best thing that could possibly happen. Now the people get to hear that I'm going to sue Jeffrey and I'm going to sue Matthew and I'm going to sue every one of those cops.
So here's what we're not going to do, Mr. DeCastro. This is not going to be a personal pulpit for your, philosophical difference or belief. You have the media here, and that's fine. This is an open court. But I don't want you to start saying things too far extraneous for purposes of this misdemeanor charge. Because that's what. No, do not interrupt me. Because that's what we're here for. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm recording everything, and you need to be aware that that's a two-sided thing. You're representing yourself, so I'm having this conversation with you. All these statements that you're saying can also potentially be used against you because you're getting recorded. So just so you understand. So here's what we're going to do. Assuming you're entering a not guilty plea.
Does the misdemeanor carry jail time?
Possibly, yes.
It's possible jail time. So you said a second ago that this is a misdemeanor case as though it's something minor, but I can be put in a dungeon and locked away.
Okay. No way.
So that's true.
Did I imply that this was minor by saying that it is a misdemeanor?
It's a big deal.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr.
Thanks.
DeCastro, let's not get off on the wrong foot. I have my job to do, and I'm not trying to engage in a conversation that's adversarial with you today.
No, I'm not trying to either. I'm not trying. I like you a lot. I think you look like a real nice person.
Okay.
I got nothing against you personally.
So we're going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf today. I'm going to reset this for a pretrial. I do need to understand, because you said you were going to have standby counsel, so are you going to represent yourself primarily, or do you want to have that conversation come back with your attorney? Because there's certain procedural things I'll need to do to protect due process and your due process if you want to go ahead and represent yourself.
Right. No, I'm going to have a standby attorney, and that has to do with a few different things. But I should probably consult with my attorney before I say anything, because it could be used against me later.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine. And I would rather that you protect yourself, because we're recording, and that is where I'm coming from in the kind of conversations and comments that I'm making to you today.
Sure.
So you are obviously entitled to represent yourself. That is your right. But let's do this. Let's get you a pretrial date. And that date, ordinary course for private attorney will be May 1st at 1:30. May 1st at 1:30?
I think I have.
Do you need a different date?
I may. I may need a different date because I have a different thing in Indiana. I'm just not sure. Can I just look in my phone real quick?
Here's a not-so-friendly piece of advice. Chili. Grab a calendar and flip it to September 20th. Then circle it in bold, because at the pace you're going, that's the first day freedom even becomes a possibility. Everything before that already spoken for. Every misstep, every bad decision, every bit of courtroom theater you insisted on performing has filled in those dates for you. There's no mystery here, no injustice, just a schedule written entirely by your own choices.
Your Honor, I have absolutely nothing against you. I'm not in any way adversarial to you at all.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that, Mr. DeCastro, because we may be on this case for a while.
I have nothing against you. I don't know you. You seem like a nice person to me. I couldn't possibly hold anything against you personally. So I'm just looking for the date that I have in Indiana. I sue lots of cops all around the country. I help sue lots of cops around the country if they violate people's rights. So I have a case in Indiana that I'm just looking for the date. And that May 1st?
Yes, at 1:30.
Can't talk, I'm in court. The judge is looking at me.
Is it easier if I give you a different date and then you look at that?
Well, I'm just not sure if it's May 1st or June 1st. I'm just gonna go there because I'm assisting with the financing of filing a federal civil rights lawsuit against these cops who arrested this man for filming cops. So I just want to make sure that I'm there when that happens. You know, I mean, it's a lot of work. So he's texting me back right now. I'll know the date in 1 second. I hate to waste any of these people's time.
You're not wasting anyone's time.
I just want to make sure that, because then we have to reset it again. If it's possible for my attorney to be here and me not to be here,
absolutely.
Well, then we can set it for any date that's most convenient for the court.
That's fine. You
Cool.
will need to inform your attorney of that date, and then I'm sure they will know to appear for you. If nobody's there on that day, that would be a problem.
That would be a bad thing.
Right, so you would need to be here if in fact this is not your attorney that you're gonna hire. Because then I need to figure out, do you need more time or?
No, I already have
do
an attorney retained.
Okay, so we will keep the May 1st, 1:30 date for your standby attorney to appear for you. And you do not need to appear on that date as long as your lawyer is here.
What time is that at, ma'am?
1:30 in the afternoon, and you are in Department 1, May 1st.
Department 1 at 1:30.
Department 1 at 1:30. June 1st, 1:30 p.m. chill. Mark it down. And make sure you show up dressed for the occasion because that courtroom aesthetic is about to change real fast. And with that, we close out the first video. But don't get comfortable yet because we're jumping straight into the second clip, which took place the very next day. Chili walked in thinking he was prepared, confident he had it all figured out, and he couldn't have been more wrong. What comes next hits harder.
Good morning, Agnes Botello for the state.
Are you Mr. DeCastro?
Hey, ma'am.
Can you turn off the phone, please? The one that's in your hand?
Just communicating with my lawyer. He's on his way here now. I'm just waiting for him to get there.
All right, I'm gonna wait for your attorney, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jose DeCastro, 23 CR 013015.
Good morning, Your Honor, Agnes Botello is making case for the record. Good morning, state.
Good morning, Michael Me on behalf of the defendant is present with you this morning.
So I have signed 2 media requests that permit recording or photographing these proceedings, but I have not granted any other requests to record or live stream these proceedings. So I need Mr. DeCastro and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave.
Are your phone covered or not? Take one from the next.
I need Mr. DeCastro to empty all of his pockets.
What's that?
Empty your
pockets and give up your phone to the judge.
I have to give you my phones?
Yeah.
My phones have to be completely off.
Yep. I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel. So,
You already are.
great,
You already are.
awesome.
I'm not gonna get into this guy though. I'll give him someone else.
No,
I'll touch him myself.
no, they're gonna go to my marshal.
He's a pig.
Excuse me?
I said he's
Chili, that was beyond reckless. Whatever judgment you thought you were exercising clearly wasn't present because you chose to insult the judge directly right to her face. And that kind of mistake doesn't disappear once the hearing ends. When a guilty verdict comes down, and it very well might, that unnecessary outburst will be remembered. Judges don't forget blatant disrespect. And moments like that have a way of resurfacing at the worst possible time, compounding everything else you've already done wrong.
So I'm not gonna permit you to speak to anybody in my courtroom in that manner. And if you don't want to apologize, I'm gonna hold you in contempt.
I apologize to the court, Your Honor.
No, you can apologize to, they've done nothing to you.
Actually, Your Honor, when you were here, you came over and gave me a directive for no reason and started telling me what to do.
Okay,
I
well,
have all the respect and love for the court. I follow the rule of law all the time. I
no,
trust
it
the
is,
rule of
it is their job to maintain the safety and security of the courtroom.
law. I agree with you, Your Honor.
So if you want to speak like that in my courtroom, I'm gonna hold you in contempt. And if I hold you in contempt, you're going to jail. That is not my wish. Okay?
I wish you could.
All right. So I need you to empty your pockets too. Suit pocket, pants pocket.
This is illegal. This is a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I don't have any recording devices on me. What are you talking about?
How about your suit jacket?
I don't have anything on me. This is preposterous.
No, it's
This
not.
really is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Me, your phone too.
They're recording everything.
They have a media request.
Right, and I'm not recording anything. Your guy here took my phone, so his phone's not on.
Right.
I'll just make sure you can take the lawyer's phone too?
No, I'm not gonna take the lawyer's phone. He's an officer of the court. All right, do we have everybody's phones? Are they off? All right, good. All right. All right, this is the time set for the trial of State of Nevada versus Jose DeCastro, 23 CR 013015. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
How many witnesses do you have?
We anticipate one.
All right, is the defense ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I have your request to convert counsel to standby counsel. I'm going to deny that request. Either you represent him or he should have previously requested a Beretta canvas to represent himself. that I just consider that a delay.
At this point, we're going to fast forward past the officer's testimony and get straight to Chili himself, because that's where the real meltdown begins. And if you want to see the entire trial from start to finish, do yourself a favor and check out our Not a Judge channel. He's the one who put in the real work, captured every moment, documented it properly, and absolutely deserves every single view coming his way.
Any witnesses?
Your Honor, I call Jose De Castro.
Raise your right hand, please, one time, quick. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please be seated.
Mr. Castro, before you testify, I'm obligated to inform you that you have the right to testify in this proceeding, but you also have the right to remain silent, and should you choose to remain silent, I may not hold that against you in making my decision. Do you understand that?
I do.
Do you still wish to testify?
Yes, I do.
All right, please go ahead.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
Can you give some insight into what that channel was about?
Objection, relevance.
What's the relevance?
Your Honor, the relevance is that we're presenting a First Amendment defense, and the defendant is a member of the press. There's different standards for First Amendment rulings where there is public policy at issue. He can give insight into that.
I'm gonna allow it for a bit and see where it goes.
Yes, I do have I do have a YouTube channel, and the reason I have a YouTube channel is because of how many cops kill people every year, how many cops hurt, maim, torture, rape, and kill people every single year. It's such an epidemic that the rest of the world, I get thousands of emails saying, only in America does this happen. I started filming cops because when I was cheated in 2002 and
Objection at this point, relevance,
well, this is the reason I'm a member of the press.
this narrative,
So can you ask him a question?
Yes, Your Honor. What type of films do you make for your YouTube channel?
I only film police in their official capacity. I'm known across.
At this point, you're internationally known as a walking meme, permanently stuck in that awkward space where nothing quite fits and nothing is taken seriously. It's a reputation you built all on your own, and it enters the courtroom long before you ever do. By the time you speak, the damage is already done because the image precedes you, and it's doing you absolutely no favors.
And why do you engage in that type of filming?
So I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Mead, to direct your questions about the incident in question.
The reason I was filming this report that day.
objection, Your Honor. Oh, sorry.
So
There wasn't a question posed, so I'm not sure what you said.
Mr. De Castro, on the date in question, why did you report that vehicle?
I was filming that cop because that's what I do for a living. I am a member of the press, and I invoked my right to be press. I always invoke my right to be press within the first 10 seconds of engaging with police, and I have thousands of videos that prove this.
So this is how you make money.
This is not how specifically I make money. I make money from selling legal documents.
Well, it looks like someone just managed to openly admit to giving legal advice without holding a law license. That's the kind of self-inflicted damage you don't even need a judge to flag. The moment it leaves your mouth, it exposes itself. No cross-examination required. When you talk that freely, the record does the work for you.
Do you recall the officer telling you to back up?
Yes, I do.
And what did you do after he told you to back up?
I took a couple steps back. I just showed him that I was willing to back up a little bit. However, if I may, in Arizona, they created a 10-foot law.
Objection, relevance, we're not in Arizona, it's the state of Nevada.
So I'm gonna allow it because I think that goes to why he kept saying 10 feet in the video, even though I will take judicial notice that you're not in the state of Arizona, you're in the state of Nevada.
Well, a federal judge struck it down, Your Honor, and
Stop. Can you ask him a question?
Yes, Your Honor. Approximately how many feet did you back up?
I backed up a foot or two. I was at least 10 feet away from that car that the driver was pulled over in.
And when you spoke to the driver, what did you say?
Just after she was okay. The reason I film police is because they abuse people so often.
Do you recall the officer telling you not to speak with the driver?
Yes,
And did you make any statements to the driver after that command was given?
absolutely not.
Did the officer ever give you a specific distance to back up to?
No, he didn't.
If he did, would you have complied with that?
Sure.
Did you believe you were complying with the officer's commands?
100%. I also informed him I'm a member of the press and a constitutional law scholar, that this is what I do.
Do you recall the officer explaining to you why he decided to arrest you?
There's several parts to the reason why he said he was going to arrest me. He said he was going to arrest me because I wouldn't turn my head a certain direction. If I didn't turn and face the car with my head, that he would place me under.
You genuinely don't seem to grasp the scale of what you just admitted. By your own words, the officer gave you a simple binary choice. Comply with a basic detention instruction and walk away, or refuse and go to jail, and you chose jail. That decision alone explains everything that followed. This wasn't set up a trap or some grand injustice. It was a consequence you selected in real time. Every problem you're dealing with now is a direct result of your own actions. So, if you're looking for someone to blame or sue, there's only one name that belongs on that paperwork.
Explaining why he decided to detain you before he arrested you.
He decided to obtain me because he said I was obstructing, which, from my understanding, is a physical act where I would have to get in the way. He said that the driver deserved privacy. I believe my First Amendment rights are not up for feelings.
Did he explain to you that the basis of your detention was related primarily to the issue of privacy or the issue of you backing out?
Well, I think from the officer's testimony, we can see that he's scared of the driver, scared of me, scared of everything. They teach them to be afraid of everything. So I had 2 cameras out. It's identified as a member of the press. I'm sorry, repeat the question. I want to get it specific for the record.
Sure. The question was, did the officer explain to you that the basis of your detention was because of you not backing up or because of the privacy issue of the driver?
It was both. He said that, he told me to back up. I backed up a little bit. Then he said, she deserves privacy. And then I told him to go get in your car, little doggy, and write your ticket. And at that point, his face turned beet red and his veins in his neck stuck out because we were over 20 feet away. And you had to holler to hear each other because the wind was probably 30 miles an hour.
Did you at any point attempt to hit any of the officers involved?
No, absolutely not.
Did you intentionally swat at any of the officers?
Absolutely not. He was giving me unlawful commands. I should not have been detained after identified as a member of the press. If he ever reached a hand out towards me, I wrestle and teach MMA and I have for 30 years. So it's just a natural reaction as I'm retreating from somebody. If I may have put my hand up, as he said, as he testified himself, I certainly am a law-abiding citizen. I don't break the law. So I would not have tried to assault an officer under any circumstances.
Is it possible that during the interactions there was inadvertent contact between you and the officer?
Sure, he decided to go hands-on with me when he was giving me unlawful commands. And there was absolutely no reason for it. I was willing to comply with anything he asked within reason, because I don't want to have a fist fight with another man on the street.
Do you recall the officer ordering you to go to his patrol vehicle?
I do.
And what did you do in response to that?
Initially, I told him no, but then when he began to get physical with me and start to grab me and touch me, I said, okay, I'll go over to your car. His car was 35 feet away. I then led him to his car. It's on video, you can see it. I would walk right up to his car, and then he insisted still on grabbing me. After he saw me pull out an additional phone, which that's what press people do. We have lots of cameras on us.
And did you inform the officer that you were a member of the press?
Oh, several times. It's in the transcripts. I've transcribed them myself. Several times I told him I'm a member of the press.
And did you explain to the officer that you have a background in constitutional law?
Yes, I told him I'm a constitutional law scholar, which was a moniker given to me by other people who are also They have their own channels, their own press, and that's what some other lawyers on another channel called me 3 years ago.
You really couldn't script irony like this if you tried. He's out here calling himself a constitutional law scholar solely because a handful of internet cheerleaders hyped him up enough times. That's the entire resume. But by that same logic, chilly. Tens of thousands of people have been telling you for years that your so-called expertise exists only in your own head. And if popularity alone makes something true, then that verdict is already unanimous. Confidence without competence doesn't make you an expert. It just makes the collapse louder when reality finally shows up.
To get some further background, were you looking for police to report on this particular day?
No, the cops hide on the side of the road to pull people over. It's pretty regular in our country. I was just in the parking lot there. I saw that Mr. Bork had somebody pulled over, concerned for her safety. I began to film.
And why do you think that law enforcement traffic stops are relevant to the public?
That's where most people get killed.
Objection relevance. To
Sustained.
that question, move to strike.
Sustained.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Statement.
I have no questions.
I love this part. The prosecutor takes one look at him and essentially says, "Nope, I'm good." No questions, no follow-ups, no need to engage. She already knows the evidence is solid, and more importantly, his own words have done all the work for her. When someone talks themselves into a corner that thoroughly, silence is the smartest response. So, with that, let's move on and watch exactly how the judge steps in and shuts this whole thing down.
Mr. Christine, the problem with the argument that your attorney makes is it completely fails to consider the safety of the officer and the safety of the driver. The officer doesn't know who you are, and the driver doesn't know who you are. And you don't have any right to interfere with that officer doing his investigation and deciding if he wants to issue a ticket to this driver. And you also don't have any business approaching the driver. The driver didn't ask you for help. The driver didn't say, help, help, You didn't see an altercation happening between the officer and this driver. The officer didn't protest that you were filming. There's no problem with filming. You can film, it's fine, all right? But you did interfere with his investigation. You did interfere with his ability to do his job. You did put him in a position where he is concerned for his safety and the safety of the driver. So I believe the state's met their burden beyond reasonable doubt. I'm going to find you guilty of obstructing a public officer and resisting a public officer. So I'd like to hear from the state and then your attorney prior to sentencing.
Your Honor, in terms of sentencing, I would ask that our defendant enter and complete an impulse control class. I would ask that the court lobby a $500 fine of equivalent in community service. I would ask that the defendant be ordered to stay out of trouble for the pendency of the case. And I would ask for a 90-day suspended sentence. And that's on as to each count to one concurrent. That's our request.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm asking the court to sentence the defendant to credit for time served for these offenses. Even if the court concludes, and the court did conclude that he didn't have the right to do what he did, I think the court can see that he sincerely believed that he had the right to do so. That's based on his past experiences and the training he's received in reference to the First Amendment. I don't think there was any intent from the defendant to engage in any wrongdoing in this case, Your Honor. And that being the case, especially because of the public policy interests at issue.
So when you say he doesn't wish to engage in any wrongdoing, it seems to me from observing him in the video that he wants this. He wants to get arrested. He wants to get into an altercation with the police officers. He welcomes this. This helps his YouTube channel. He called the officers here in my courtroom today pigs. He called and he's nodding his head up and down. So apparently he hates every law enforcement.
That thumbs up isn't confidence, it's recognition. He knows the judge is laying down unfiltered reality, and there's no spinning it this time. What's coming next is a massive serving of humble pie, and it's been a long time in the making. No excuse.
Sir, are you finished with your request for credit for time served?
I would just emphasize, Your Honor, that the defendant testified and he sincerely believes that he is providing a public service when he reviews and films these incidents. I understand the court may have a different view of that, but when we're talking about First Amendment public policy issues such as supervising people involved in government, I think that is something the court can take into consideration, not to have a chilling effect on that. I'll spit on that, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. DeCastro, please stand. I hereby sentence you to 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 1, 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 2, to run consecutive for a total of 180 days in custody. Thank you.
Excuses, no scapegoats, no conspiracy theories left to hide behind. Every bit of it is earned, and he has no one but himself to thank for how this ends. I don't know, Chili, did you actually hear the word suspended come out of the judge's mouth, or were you too busy staring into space, trying to process what was happening? So, let me make it painfully clear. No, your sentence is not suspended, even though the prosecution was willing to recommend it. That option evaporated the moment you decided to mouth off and call an officer a pig in open court. I warned you that move was a bad idea. And right on cue, here comes a consequence. Perfectly timed, entirely predictable, and 100% self-inflicted.
We're going to start right now.
Can you put two please? I'm going to keep shoulders shut. This is the travesty of justice. Little people that don't like police. We'll put you in jail for half a year. How long have you been in the Just get in the car. Yeah, it's in the church. Can I give my keys up? My keys are in the garage. They're in the settings. Can you enjoy it? No, in the briefcase. Yeah, I'll get your stuff. Many mans on top of me, put it on. Get a hold of my assistant, James.